All right, yo. So you know what happens when you hear the crowd noise, right, Rob?
What happened? What?
What happens? What happens when you hear that crowd noise, Rob?
Yo, we live. You heard? Shout out. What up, world? What's up, world? You heard? You tuning into the 80th Productions. I'm your boy Rob Hegan.
ALBYBEATZ. Oh,
ALBYBEATZ.
well, ALBY. But do you hear the beat?
I sure do. I hear it all, boy. I hear it all. That's why I strive for it. Yeah. I got you right now. I got you right now.
Man. And you're gonna dig in. You're gonna dig in the back. You're
You
gonna dig in your bag.
heard?
I ain't
What's
got the
up,
BlackBerry
dog?
iPhone wraps.
Oh man, shout out to the BlackBerry. I was OD late on the BBMs.
The
That BBMs.
the BBMs. Yeah, I've been trying to. You know what? I'm gonna get a laugh track for us, man. I'm slacking with. That's the last thing I need.
Wait, I think we said that like in
Yeah,
episode
yeah, yeah, yeah,
75.
yeah, yeah. 75.
We
Are we that deep? Are we that deep into? Well,
in
probably.
it.
We probably are. We probably
Nah,
are. Shout out to that again. You know what I'm saying?
shout out.
Um. Man, what's up, Rob? How you
Yo,
feeling?
feeling
Just
good,
random. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. You
It's
grabbed it.
Friday.
You grabbed it.
It's Friday. I love. Yo, it's a rare.
Yeah.
Y'all been for all of y'all that been following us. Cheers to y'all. Love to you. Cheers to you, Hribi. I'll be. So that
Yo,
drink.
but I don't know, yo, cause I was thinking
Cheers, my
about I'm a
brother.
blur mines, but chill, cause
That's why I got mine
yo,
like this.
until we get a sponsor, yeah, exactly,
Exactly.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Give us a
Going like
sponsor first before
going
we
like
even start
this.
doing
Yeah.
anything.
Hey, you
Playing
already know
around.
what we sponsored by. Shout out to Siempre Mocha. Siempre Mocha sponsors the Manuscript. We don't even gotta have. That's family. Where must I gotta get my Siempre Mocha hat?
Yeah, I gotta get my Semper Mocha shirt.
That's
Um,
not. That's next. You heard? Shout out to Siempre Mocha.
nah,
We
man.
are ALBYBEATZ. Rob Hegan, the Manuscript. Sponsored by Siempre Mocha
Mocha.
and the rap program. I feel
Yeah.
like they would help.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That
They would
would
rock
be.
with us.
Listen, oh man.
They rock with
All right.
us. So,
Let me see. Trying to play some music in the
love to
background. Get us
y'all,
started. It's
man.
Friday.
Yeah. Get the
It's
vibes
Friday.
going. Let me
Yeah.
talk to y'all. Love to you, world. Appreciate you. As you can see,
Uh,
me and my brother are bouncing off. We're over here with how do you say double clutch kind of episode where you already know we tune in every Monday, and I'm sure you're aware of the world, and there was a lot going on that we just linked up and said, "Hey, bro, how you feeling, man? I just wanted to chit chat. Oh, you're not doing anything later?
mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything later either. Let's do this. Let's get
Yeah. Let's get
online.
on
Let's
live.
talk to the world. Let's finally plug in. And we've been trying to hit y'all with a back to back, and it's here, man. It's here. So love to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you. You're right. You're so right, Rob.
Check.
Um. Yeah, man, and because as we said before, there's still things to still kind of to go over. We
Oh, for
we
sure.
last time we were on, we talked about pretty much the manosphere, and which
Mhm.
is something that a new concept that I was sort of made aware of, and then when we uncovered it a bit more, we saw that it's manosphere as a definition, as an ideology, is something that we've been already dealing with, and also the reason why we created this platform, right, to just provide conversation, education, and as we better ourselves, right, because as we always stress, like we're also learning, we're also growing in this process, and so the manosphere being something that deals with masculinity, we thought it was important to just discuss and bring up and talk
Oh, for
about and try
sure.
to figure out, right. And so I think I got the laughing track, by the way. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. Yeah. We laughing at y'all in the manosphere.
Is that good?
That's perfect. That's perfect. Because if I was in the manosphere, that would have pissed me off with all my aggression, with all my shame, with all my.
Okay, I got a good laugh track. Okay,
Yeah,
you
that would
know,
piss me off. Why he laughing at me for, man? What's up?
but I need
Come on,
some good
man.
laughter. I don't know if I like that laughter. That sounded like white laughter. That sounded like a little bit of white laughter. I need more, a little spruced up laughter.
I like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's
The
a guy
extended
right
laugh, the
there.
extended laugh.
Yeah, he sound like he from Tremont. Oh damn, no, not the Moscow Mule.
No, it's good, it's good, it's safe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Love,
I'm glad we're
man.
able to do this, man.
Love, yeah, it's a great vibe, man. Always. How you
Uh,
feeling, man? Let's tap in. First and foremost, let's tap in. How you feeling, my brother?
um,
How's been your week?
I'm comfortable now. I'm feeling relieved, relaxed. It's Friday.
Amen.
It's definitely Friday. It's the start of the weekend. I'm looking forward to getting into tomorrow, the weekend, going on a bike ride, um, with some family, in Brooklyn. Uh, so far that's like the highlight. You know, anytime I can get out, get to move around is important. So looking forward to that. So far the weather's been fine. It's Friday. It's been sunny. So heading into the weekend, we've been getting some great weather. It looks like we're getting great weather here in New York City. So, man, I'm like I said, man, comfortable, relieved. Even though, as you know, um, in recent weeks things have been pretty heavy. Uh,
Yes, not everyone is comfortable and
um,
relieved.
I think I just try to. It's nice to focus on some balance, right, and the positive.
Love
Try to
that.
be grateful, you know. So, how's your week going
Cheers to
so
that.
far? You
Cheers to
know, cheers
that.
to that for sure.
Man, cheers to balance. My
Yeah.
week has been finding balance and successfully. I'd say that. Yesterday I had a moment of reflection towards the end where I realized I was dealing with the day that was kind of eh, like it was getting out of my hands and I wasn't like grasping it or even communicating that how I was feeling about that, and I just kind of let the ball go where it went, and although it didn't go badly, I still had to check myself at the end and communicate to those around me how I was feeling, just openly, no issue, just saying, hey, I just want to. I don't know if anybody was feeling my energy, but I just wanted to communicate that, like I'm definitely checking myself because I think I was a little bit quiet because the day was not going where I wanted it to go. Although that's partly me letting it go with God, but also I'm just like you said, the word balance and trying
Hmm.
to um do both
Yeah.
so even though everything went well, I wanted to bring light onto my struggle, even though what I mean, I don't you don't always have to just talk about your struggle or deal with your struggle when it's a struggle. Like if you feel it, what I'm saying, release it.
Yeah.
So love to that, man, love to that. So, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. I'm not gonna forget this, y'all. June 6th, shout out to Journey Scott, my first niece. Love, 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 love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. First and foremost to God, man, for getting my sister. She's over 40 and she had a very beautiful birth, a very I don't want to say for her. I don't want to say it was easy. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
she
you
had
have
no
no
compli
idea,
Yeah, right,
player.
right.
Don't even try it.
Right, right.
Don't even
But she had
try it.
she
You know.
from her mouth it
Yeah.
was no complications, and she's definitely grateful and love to everybody who has just been showing even me love to the family on my page as I share the news. Yeah, man. That's it. That's the week right there. Journey's here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
man.
it. So love
Yeah.
to that, another lady in the world, you know what I'm saying? To
So
benefit off these kind of things when we're here
yeah,
with the manuscript, trying to get our men right. So
yeah,
my little niece could come out here and you know what I mean, be comfortable, be safe. You
yeah.
know,
Well, have you? Do you know now that you even said that? And again, shout out to Journey
love.
and your niece. So now that you mentioned that, have you? Did it sort of hit you at any time, even during while your sister was like during the pregnancy? You know that you were going to have a niece, right? So you had two nephews before.
Hmm.
So this would be a third time also experiencing a family member and someone as close as your sister having a child, and
Hmm.
it's a girl. So did you at all like was it um did it hit you at any point like wow I'm gonna be an uncle to a girl?
Yeah.
or to to a
Oh,
female at least at
definitely.
birth, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely hit me up, man. I so funny too. I it was like a outer body experience when I was holding her. Um seeing like trying like feeling the moment and falling into tears,
Mm.
but like knowing that my sister's right there, my nephew's right there watching me, and I'm
Yeah.
just feeling like so one on one with her, and I got overcome with emotion just out of the sheer like just the beauty of it all, and and the importance, the
Yeah.
importance. It was overwhelming, and just the most beautiful way where I can see why even this right here is happening, you know. Um, and love to you, my brother, because I will definitely look to you for advice on,
Mm.
you've done a great job, guiding and being a great uncle, to Kaylee, love to your niece, you know what I mean? So it definitely hit me. It definitely hit me.
Yeah.
But it was definitely not no fear. You know what I'm saying? I know it was no fear. I don't see no obstacles. It just ignited the flame, the purpose in the best way possible to see, where our creator's taking everything. And she's premature, but she's like perfect. Like she's fine.
right. Right. Right.
It's like, what is premature when no, she was mature enough to know, no, I'm ready.
Shit, I'm ready.
I'm
I'm
not.
ready to be out of here. I'm ready to
She's
be.
like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna get this blood pressure up. I got to go. I got to go. I'm ready. And
Mhm.
love to her, man.
Yeah,
Love to
man.
her. Yeah, it did hit me, bro. Especially with the news going on around, man. That's the one thing that always keeps me in check when I try to look at the innocence, the young, the young spirits that are within us that some of us never get to really mature and grow, because we are like, spiritually either in a decline or we're stuck, in the moment that stumped us or stunted us or whatever the word you want to call it is, shocked us, whatever the word you want to choose, where it just kind of like had you there and you can never like just feel free to experience something anew because of that one experience. That always breaks my heart when I hear people be like, no, I know, because I know, bro, because I know, because I felt it, I dealt with it. And it's also negative where it's like, I'm not going to negate your experience. I just pray that you find peace in your heart to be open enough to um, believe that this thing can actually have a different outcome, right? If that's not the case, then why are any of us alive? Why are any of us trying anything? You know, why? If we just think that it's just going to continue to go bad, that can't be,
Yeah.
you know? And shoot, let's check ourselves because I check myself. Like she could be the leader. She could be the future right there. She don't need me to protect her. She need me to, what I'm saying, do my due diligence, and just be a good person, a good spirit. And she gonna come up and she gonna be her good spirit and she gonna rock. You know.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'll tell you. You um, you're probably gonna go through these moments as as you've mentioned already, where you will. I mean, it's hard to ignore the society we live in, right? Which is unfair to girls and unfair to young girls and young black girls, and
right,
so I think
right,
it's going to be hard to ignore that there will be certain dangers and things that she will likely or could experience just statistically. Um, that you can only, even if you tried, right, um, prepare them for, and as
yeah,
best as possible, just let them know that they have a solid foundation support system. I think that's
yeah,
the most
no,
important part, because we can't save anyone necessarily as all we can. We can save who we can, um, and so I do think, going back to myself, I recognize that there's things that I can still do always as an uncle,
mm,
um, because I've changed so much since, of course, my own niece was born till now, where they are a teenager, close, in a couple of years, an adult, um, and there's ways I've changed within their lifespan so far. So, I think what will always be important is being consistent,
for sure.
and disciplined in realizing like who we are and as role models, and and safety nets and protectors. So just the one thing you have, an experience that I don't have, and I know I could have had, is that you have multiple nieces. You will have multiple nieces and nephews, right?
Right, right, right,
So
right.
so you're y- so as to me at least, I think it's heightened. It becomes heightened, like your role in a way, whether you ask for it or not, right? Just
No.
being the uncle, you know. Your role of as a person in these two in people's lives are is heightened, right?
Yeah,
Because
for sure, for
you'll be
sure.
introduced as this is your uncle Rob, right? So
Yeah.
now once that's introduced in the world to another person, again, intentional or not, you're responsible, right? So now this is your third time, and I don't have that, so I know it. Then I imagine it can not pressure, but just it's something else that's added to your thought process, right? Because now you're thinking about
Yeah.
you're gonna be like my niece. I imagine at least, right? My nephew, my niece, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
right, every time, and as
Well,
she
one
get,
thing.
yeah,
No, I don't want to cut you off. Good.
yeah, go ahead. No, no, that's what I was just saying. Like, right, you
Yeah,
have
no.
that,
And to
and
bounce off of that, that one thing about that is like humbling myself to
yeah,
also like balance,
mm,
to not really quite think that I like, because I do feel comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, I feel comfortable. I don't have any worries or second thoughts or concerns, and it's not stirring in my mind any really what ifs. So, but I did have a moment where I had to like humble myself and know, like, oh, right, like this is like a niece, not a nephew. Right, I had two nephews, and that just has to naturally be easy because we're of the same gender. We have connections. I have to be mindful that this is a whole other spirit, and it's like her life. Between her and God, the choice being made. Who knows how she's gonna be, but she's definitely not gonna want to get oh well, who knows, I don't know, like, what I mean, but let's just not treat her the same, right? Don't pick her up and roughhouse her and think that she, like, it's not gonna be the same. So be mindful of, it can be that, because love to all the women, you get your own choice, you play sports, so you can be very similar to men in those aspects and still have your femininity. However, just I'm me, like humbling myself and just making sure that I know what, like, I've learned what I know now is that everyone is their own person, and all I am to do is right, protect, you know, as we've been talking for a while, like just being a protection, and it feels so new. It's the beauty of, like, I feel it's the beauty of this both and this duality, that my relationship with God has been taking me to see. Like, I appreciate that. Um, just keeping the surface flat and allowing God to give me the boards, and we build our relationship together. She's just so beautiful, bro. It brought me to tears. I had to make sure
mm,
that I didn't drop tears on her because she's premature. So it was like I'm over here scrubbing my hands like I'm bathing out here, like, I can't like cry on her skin or anything. God
yeah,
forbid a tear drops in her mouth. You know what I mean? Like, no, like I was like holding her, just like just, like, I had to hold my emotions back because I would have had to ask my sister, "Hey, can you wipe my face?"
really,
Oh
um,
yeah, bro.
yeah,
Oh yeah. It was
yeah,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Shout out to everybody who has the opportunity to
yeah,
even have a child. I don't have a child. Take care of a child. I definitely been a beneficiary, to my sister's beautiful story of, I never think that you have to have a child, especially in this day and age. I encourage a lot of people to not really think about your own story, and, you know, really be open to what may be already written for you. I want to be mindful to your everyone's beliefs. You might not believe in God, but I know you believe in yourself, and I know you believe that, right, when like we always have like a dream, and we always believe that we're going to end up somewhere. So whatever thing you believe in, I know you believe in yourself. Be open to your dream being something bigger than you can even imagine, because it could be very basic for me to be like, oh, everyone tells me I'm gonna be a great father. I have to sit back and wonder, what if that's not my story? You know, what if I'm just a great man who can be a father like figure? You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be a father myself. Love, I would love it. I would love it. But, teach his own. Teach his own, man. But love to y'all, man. Love to y'all who always got that
Yeah,
experience. Love to everyone pursuing. Love to those who unfortunately can't have a child, but look at the children around you. You're definitely a parent in some way, and it's just beautiful. And speaking on that, man, we're everything that we're talking of, like these people are gonna grow to adults. So when we
right.
talk about the
For sure.
manuscript,
Yeah.
we're talking about these boys, we're talking about these girls, and then where they grow into these adults. Like a lot of us are adults but haven't even grown from the things that have affected us from the past. And trust me, I'm not judging, because I'm one who had to look at myself and realize, like, the things that happened to me in the past, like physical touch traumas, actually affect me, to where if some, like, even my best friend could like tap me in my thigh, I clench up a little bit, because not about them, they didn't do anything to me, it's just me. I had to, oh, whoa, whoa, check that, like, what is that? Oh, your body remembers. And then sit with that and start healing. Get your mind connected to your body to start that healing, and watch your spirit follow. So I
Yeah,
pray that
man.
all of y'all get to do
Yeah.
that, and
Right.
in this atmosphere between all of us, not this manosphere. Good transition. Good transition.
It's a great
Yeah,
transition. So,
I mean,
you
where we
know,
left off.
yeah, definitely. So where we left off was again tackling and discussing the manosphere, right?
Yeah,
I don't actually I should have pulled up the
I got it
um
right here, man.
um you have the website up, the last one I gave.
The conversation.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that conversation necessarily, but really just the website. Because the manosphere again describes this new movement, or I guess, yeah, new movement. Let's say new movement of young men or men in general who are seeking to um break. I don't know.
Let
Break
me tell you
away.
something. I got you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because when I'm
Go
taking
ahead.
notes, I
Cause
was taking notes,
listen, if you can't, go ahead and take it. Cause I'm like, listen. In a way,
because
to me, it's like I described the manosphere a lot.
mm,
And just so it should be easy for me to break it down, but I can't. Go ahead.
no, because I know,
Yeah.
because love, that's what we hear, man.
Yeah.
Like, to finish your sentence is basic. Right here is in the third note that I wrote when I was reading the article. The manosphere appeals to young men under the above factors: romantic rejection, alienation, economic failure, loneliness, and overall, it's just it's providing a, like, in that same sense. Well, basically, right there, it appeals to the young men from the above factors, where they're dealing with alienation, economic failure, loneliness, or romantic rejection. Right? It's meant, Dike, to provide a community, a place of belonging, uh, a defined enemy, direction, a certainty, solutions to deep and systematic issues, and most of all, hope. Right? So it's quite interesting when if anyone wants to tap in for that, uh, I can't send you the link, but it's basically theconversations.com/ the dash draw dash of
Yeah.
dash the
Well,
manosphere.
if you have it, Rob, would you mind? You can send it to me on the WhatsApp, and then I'll put it right now on the chat. So on the live chat right now. So,
Love, love, love.
well, I appreciate you for also going back and putting me together, and in terms of referencing the definition, because again,
Right.
the manosphere is important to even just consider and continue exploring and identifying and talking about. If as men we are to start evolving and make change, because it's so insidious, right? So it's particularly attacking young boys. And you and I have talked about the way we've been socialized to think about masculinity from when we were young. So
Mm-hmm.
manosphere is really this again, this particular idea that, from what I understand, right, is just taking us back to a very capitalistic way, um, influenced a definition of masculinity, where the
Right.
man is supposed to be is very limited. Is a very limited definition. It's all about producing. It's all about profit. It's not about community. It's not about sharing. It's about individualistic needs, and protecting for oneself. So, that's just again a very basic way of putting it. It's more
Mm-hmm.
expansive, so um,
You have the link.
it's worth looking. All right,
You could put the
yeah,
link up for
all
them.
right,
And I love that you said it's not really to provide a community, but when I wrote that note down, it was interesting because the person who wrote the article, let me actually, what I'm saying, give them some love, right? Where they West Mountain, I believe, if I'm reading that correctly. I don't know how to I don't really know how to read who wrote. Oh no, here we go.
West Mountain, yeah. Or
It
is that
was?
the no
Or is it
Bev
at the
Daily?
bottom right
Bev
here
Daily,
where
yeah. Yeah, let me actually put the article up so we can follow along. You
probably
have it up?
I have the article. Yeah, why you
Yeah.
want to share my
Yeah,
why?
I'm gonna show the screen right now. You see this? You see it?
Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir. So it was interesting because as I was taking my notes, it
Yeah.
was like the person who wrote it was saying, and yeah, if you scroll, it's not too far. Where would it have been? Because it sees it right there. Manosphere appears to appeal can be perplexing, particularly for parents. Once you get to about where it says Worcester Uni Society, I think it would be right. Let me not focus too much on looking for it because I just have the notes right here.
Mm-hmm.
The person who wrote the article was when they mentioned community, they were saying that it's like it's a manipulation. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear that like they're manipulating these people because it's clear that that's what they want. They want a community, a place of belonging, right? A defined enemy, and that's one of the biggest problems because the gist of the manosphere is that they're seeing feminism as a cause of male disenfranchisement.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yep, yep,
you
yep.
know what I mean? Like they're seeing that. And then if you go against that, it's quite interesting because there is no unity really unless you agree. And I don't know anyone who ever grows up and feels okay with that. If you really tap in to who you are, when you have your own beliefs and you're around a couple of people who don't believe you, doesn't it suck when they make you feel so outcast and then start treating you like what you believe is weird, quote unquote, you're a simp, right? Like that's what they do in this manosphere, in this world that they're creating. They like so you can't really disagree with them, or else your value is diminished. And one of the things that I felt God was always telling me was that you can appreciate one thing without depreciating the other,
Yeah.
right? I'm all about balance. So it's quite interesting that, you know, I pray for them really. You know what I mean? I pray for them because one thing that I'm learning is like it's like gravity, it's a gravitational pull. They could create the manosphere, and I'm not here to destroy your planet. Go ahead, and whoever is pulled to that world, what I mean. Bless them. I pray that they're safe. I'm not God. I can't tell you what's gonna go, how it's gonna go. I'm just gonna, what I'm saying, the most I could do is actually hope that it goes well for you and it doesn't create harm. However, as statistics and facts are facts, you know, facts are facts, right? For the fact is that Diddy lied about what he did, and
Mm.
then they showed it, and
Mm.
then he apologized, right? But what kind of man, the man I want to be is that I already know I did wrong and I apologize for when I did wrong. I didn't hide and say I didn't do something, even if you weren't ready to, because I know it could be hard to publicly out yourself right there, but it's there. It's not like you were outing yourself. It was already there and you lied, right? To me, it's more manly, more, and I don't even want to say manly because I feel like I have messages for past gender. It's just more, there's more honor in taking the hard route and telling the truth, man,
Yeah.
even when the truth goes against you. because the truth will never go against you. You're going against the truth, you know? Um, so it's quite interesting that, it starts off already talking about how Tate's ability to, exploit the anxieties and grievances is what's driving the manosphere. And the only way that you won't be able to notice that is if you're not tapped into yourself. So like I find myself in a almost like a stalemate where it's not a bad thing, where it's like I can only do what I can do and just watch it unfold and protect who is around me, like how we started, like, journey, and be there, and even set the example and not control her and tell her where she can't go, but let her see where she, what I'm saying, where it can go, not where you can't go, but where things can go, good or bad, and just be aware of self.
Yeah, and also I want to highlight that just in this article, uh, the author and writer also ask us to just write, con- think about what we can do about the manosphere, and not only like rejecting these ideas and rejecting these people and understanding ourselves, but um, think about, right. They also ask right here. We also need to avoid the knee-jerk stigmatizing of dismissal of people who fall into the manosphere, right?
Look at
So
that.
talking about not dismissing young brothers or men who do find this ideology enticing, who do
Right.
like fall into these strict and believe in these strict ideas of masculinity as told by America and dictated by America. Um, the author does also, ask that we use empathy, tolerance, and patience to support men in ways to lead them, right, as they say in their own words, away from these unpleasant burrows of the internet. Um, and I think that's what becomes hard, right? Because in my experience, like, when it comes to even talking to anybody in our lives, young men, grown men, and they have these like very toxic or extreme ways of thinking about women, we either are with them or we're totally against them. It's kind of like there's no middle ground. Um, there's not many examples of like seeing men work through these challenges and having those men who are totally against like uh, these ideas challenging the men who are still stuck in these ideas, who are still brainwashed. You good? I want to make sure. Okay, I noticed you.
Oh, no, I'm good, brother. Love,
You
love.
keep
Shout out
checking
is
back. You can check it back. I'm like, yeah.
uncle duties.
Oh, good, good, good.
Love, love, love. As you were saying, continue. I didn't want to cut you off. Continue.
No, no, no. I already added. Just saying how yeah, that we need more examples of men. Like there's as the author suggested the article about using empathy, tolerance, and patience to support men, and leading them away from like ideas like the manosphere. Um, that's something we need to exercise, and it's always tough because again,
Mm-hmm.
I know especially for certain people, they don't want to hear it. Like if you understand, if you are aware of of how racism works, of how sexism works, it might be harder for you to work with somebody or interact with somebody who is not so aware as you. You don't want to. For some people, it's tiring to really teach the next person,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
talk to them about values and morals and ideas that would take humanity to a better place. Right? It's tiring. So
Yeah. I
I
love you, my
say that.
brother. Keep going. Let me just give me two seconds. I'm
All
gonna
right,
help him get.
we
It's
could
so
take
cute
an
watching.
intermission.
No, no, no.
Because I need to use the restroom too. So
Oh no. Let's take
I
an
either go to
intermission.
solo. Oh,
Go to
okay,
the
okay,
restroom. I gotta go to
okay,
the kitchen and help. It's so
okay.
cute watching my nephew trying not to get like he trying to get his beef patty out the oven and he's just looking at it like, how do I not get burned? I'm like, all right, let me help you. So
All
love to you.
right.
I give it one little quick intermission,
All
brother.
right. All right.
Yes, sir. We alive. We here. Yeah. Woo. Yes, I do. Continue mission until mission. Yeah, catch this wave. Yeah, taking a short break. Yeah, you already know that I gotta be brave. Yeah, look, king, look, don't be no slave. Go get saved. Yeah, go get too many plays. I've been here going crazy for too many days. Going on weeks, going on months. Can I repeat? I've been out here, feeling too weak. Gotta be strong. How can I cheat? Nah, ain't no size. Where you been this thing, baby girl? You already know. Gotta be I don't know what you wanna do. My brother, my brother got the tunes. Look, since we was children watching cartoons.
All right, we back. We back. We back. We back.
Yo, love, love, love. It's a movie out here, guys. I had to go get the popcorn and everything. It's a película.
All
For all
right.
my non-Spanish speakers, that's movie in Spanish.
The movie in
Película.
Spanish.
We're gonna teach you Spanish too. Press app.
Ah, Jesus, película. No, it's a great article. We put it on. I put it on the chat.
Love,
I want
love.
to go back to it. In terms of the article you mentioned,
I'm tapped in. I'm tapped in.
it's an introduction. Again, there's definitely other places where you can continue this conversation, learn some more.
Oh, and
Again,
it definitely has links.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
brother, my tabs went crazy when I read this. I was like, whoop,
Yeah.
drag, whoop, drag
Let
to the oh.
me go to this real quick because I want to also plug in this live stream that happened recently. Also, that I
Mm,
think would be another
another little topic.
yeah, another introduction
Uh huh.
to the topic. I think
Okay, love, love.
that could be helpful for anyone else keeping up, and the you know we're just gonna keep this up probably because I've yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
oh
put
yeah,
another
yeah.
another link to another great conversation, so um folks can catch up to this conversation of the Manosphere.
Yes, sir.
So
So,
you
I,
had something for me.
yeah, I
Uh,
just wanted to share some of the notes
that
that I was
yeah yeah
taking
yeah
because
yeah
you
yeah.
did you read the article as well?
Which
Like, did
one?
you
Yeah
actually like
yeah
get
yeah yeah.
right? So, I had taken some notes, and it's really just literally like word for word what they wrote, and it
Mhm
resonated. But I
mhm
wanted
mhm.
to, because it resonated, I
Talk
wanted
to me.
to like write it down, word, speak to you, and just see like how did that vibe off of you because we hadn't
Yeah.
gotten to speak like this, right? So it was quite interesting to me that and beautiful. Like it definitely made sense to me that the person who wrote the article said that they feel that it's important for us to use empathy, tolerance, and patience to support men in ways that lead them away from being gravitating towards the manosphere. And to your credit, it was beautiful because you already kind of went on that way, right? Like you were saying, like that's kind of what we have to do. It's in the article as well, but I feel like you used your own words and you were saying that that's just we have to be patient with them, right? We have we and it's a hard thing to do. It's a really hard thing to do, right? Tolerance and empathy,
Yeah.
patience, patience, a fruit of the spirit. You know what I mean? Tolerance is almost like self control, another fruit of the spirit. It's quite interesting how all of these things um correlate to me. Another thing was
Yeah.
if a core emotion is not clear. Oh, this was beautiful because this right here was not from that. This was like a bounce off of the article, which I pray that I get to tap into the article because I wish I could tell you exactly which little link it came from, but it was definitely the article. And I think it was about like ways to it was I think it was in an article that was saying what's happening to men, right? And it was like helping ways to get a comprehension on your feelings, right?
Yeah.
If a core emotion is not clear, fellas, you can move from the outside in. Remember, like that last was it the last it was the last episode where we're doing the emotional wheel,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. The
Right,
feeling wheel, the feeling wheel. Yeah.
the feeling wheel, right? If if one of those feelings is not clear, you can move from the outside in, identifying the associated feeling first, and then meeting your way towards the core emotion,
Oh.
right? Don't necessarily hunt for the word. It was so beautiful that it was almost as if the person writing this just exactly knew the language of like when we are having difficulty being there, like they were there themselves. Because to say don't hunt for the word was such a, it has such masculine energy, the word hunt. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, you're right. It does feel like at times it does feel like I have to know and I'm searching for it and I gotta
Mhm.
get it right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, remember we were there and we were like, I feel chill. I feel chill. Chill. Like, you know what I mean? But we didn't know. And instinctively we went from the outside in,
Yeah.
you know? Maybe compare feelings, today's feelings to yesterday's, right? And you would know more of this than me, right? Like it said, it gave me I didn't know that men are 4 times likely to die from suicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you have statistics because you be throwing statistics
Yeah.
at me. I'd be like, whoa, you
It's
know.
there.
So
Is there in the article for sure. Yeah, for sure. I've seen that statistic. Around men being 4 times more likely. And the fact that just across the board, regardless of race, um, men, male identified folks seem to experience suicide at a higher rate than any other identifying people. Um, and especially even if we're talking about women, then yeah.
hmm
So
and hold on, I'm not
it's
done
it's
because
been it's
they
been it's been that for a
oh
while. Let
love
me
love.
tell you.
Okay, okay.
I'll just say,
Sheesh.
it's been there for a while. I mean, what I was introduced to, this is stuff. I was taking sociology class in 2011, 2012,
Right, right. Shout out to
and and,
CCNY.
and these are things that were in the books and the textbooks. So, um,
Mm,
as far as male suicide, yeah. So it's been
love.
that for a while.
So when I wanted to tap in with you about the specific question I had, I wanted to pick your brain. That I was as I'm reading these things, and I'm always thinking that I don't want to bombard men with like it's already like you may already subconsciously kind of pressure yourself, right, to be the man and have it figured out. So it sucks when you have men like us who may come on to a platform like this and that it may get misconstrued with all those feelings that you may feel more pressure. I wanted to be sure we're not applying pressure on you to make it seem like it's all like on you, right? It's the point is to let go of the backpack, let go of the backpack, unpack, and let people see what you've been carrying around, right? And I've been trying to keep that energy of like having a balance of like knowing how hard it is for men, but also not like um coddling, you know what I mean? Like, not so finding that right balance. And it was beautiful because in one of the articles that I have found, they actually came with a solution. Like we don't really know if it,
Mm,
but it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
a nice idea that they felt that vocational high schools could actually, if we as a society started thinking more about, changing the way that we, I guess, operate with high schools. So, and shout out to Truman and the rap program where, the rap program has been fighting for their survival. You know what I mean, and their growth. So it's interesting that it's not quite about vocational schools in that sense, but it is true that the it's not just the government, like it's just every kind of systematic thing in play has to be elevated and grow.
Yeah,
I wanted to know what you think about vocational high schools. It's like what that means, right? High schools
yeah.
centered around, right? So do you think
Um,
that that would actually be a solution? Because just to give you my point right real quick, I think, yeah, I actually do think it could actually be a very very good thing for us.
I mean, high schools. It's going to take a lot more than high
More than
schools.
that,
More
yeah.
than high schools, yeah, yeah. If we're talking about supporting men, and taking men's mental health serious, I mean, again, mental health across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's still a work in progress in terms of like really understanding how it impacts everyone's daily function, behavior, and so we have many systems who I think are failing everyone
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to addressing our mental health. And so high school, vocational high schools will be better. I think also just even in general resources for high schools will help any young man attending whatever high school they want to attend. So if they want to attend again whatever high school, because I do, all of us are different, so we have different interests, um, and different academic capabilities. So we would need different high school environments. Um, it I again I think so with that article, which I didn't see.
Personally for
Yeah.
yourself, what like because when
Yeah.
I started thinking about, I was like, man,
Again,
personally for myself, I had no direction in high school, honestly.
right. Because yes, and I will say that's a problem across the board, though. If you even
Right.
talk about any sort of direction, I mean, high schools are it's tough to manage. I mean, most high schools I know are you
All
know
right. Don't you work? You've worked in a high
yeah,
school.
yeah. And
Yeah. So
so
let's talk about that. Let's tap into that.
well, most high schools are, or even any school is severely understaffed because we're talking about most schools. I don't have the number, but on average, from what I do know and the numbers you could probably look up, you would have a high school that would have 1,000 students, but you would only have 150 staff working there, 200 maybe if you're lucky, and so 200 to 1,000 students is not. How do you divide your attention, and how can you as adults really give every student what they need to develop, and especially young men. So not only that, in education in general, there's still when you're thinking about the staff and who works there, the demographics, right? I don't know that there are enough men working in high school settings
Mm.
enough to work with the population of young men who go to high school. Um, so that's why I think high school in general, I would have to generalize it because it's tough to even work with young people because we're outnumbered. You know what I mean? In a lot of high schools, there are few I think that I've been aware of in New York City that are lucky where the ratio is in terms of staff is like one staff member per 12 to 15 students, and that's great because I think one
Mm.
adult is capable of handling 14 to 15 teenagers, right? Um, in most, I think from what I know in public schools, it's like 1 to 30. And that's a lot, you know what I mean, for one person to try to work with 30 students. And so in a lot of places, there's one staff member to 50 students. And so that makes it even more challenging. Imagine, even if you're a man, so imagine you as a man trying to work with 50 young men. Like, I mean, you would have to have a lot of resources available
Yeah.
and given to you to work with them and work with them in a way where they listen to you. They would be able to follow the structure that you set, and then also be able to for you to provide the reward to them so that they can feel incentivized to like even listen to you. So it's like and a lot of schools don't even have the funding or the backing to handle that to give
You know,
one
I'm
person.
looking at some research, and that's
So
exactly the biggest complaint about the funding. So quite interesting.
it's tough to say, man. So
They're
going
over
back to the
that.
article and
Yeah.
that person, like I'm not saying it
But
would
that's
be
not the
great.
solution. You're saying there's more,
Right,
right?
right. Well,
Right. It's not
and
just to
like
put the pressure, right? Both ends,
right,
right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't scratch that as a tool or something we would need to
Right.
support. But it's like in the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't just put all my pennies and my dollars in that.
Right. Right. I
Um,
agree. I hear you. Yeah, I had to ask, man, because when I read that, it just resonated so much with me. Where I was like, wow, hold on, wait
I
a minute.
mean,
I was
you
I
know,
was just going through high school. Like I was just going through high school, just trying to get these grades. And that was it. It was just getting these grades and having an experience. But and I love my journey. I'm not never want to take away from my journey. I just thought to myself, that is interesting that I didn't really find my passion until I really got to like really it was junior year of college.
Yeah.
Like I was literally still almost just like a grown high schooler in freshman year of college. Like still you do the same thing where then the only difference was now I get to pick my classes. And I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. You know.
Yeah. Well, we
Um.
also here's another thing. You learn that you have a lot more power. I've learned working at schools, you find that you have more power than you would have known as a high schooler. Again, but we've been taught to be compliant, follow the rules, follow whatever the authorities tell you. Um, you take their word for it. We're not raised and taught to challenge authority, to challenge
mm,
rules, to challenge what we know. So
right.
I think
It's a beautiful thing.
that
That
plays
was
into
actually in the
that.
article.
Yeah, yeah. So that
The article
that
said that it's not that men don't have opportunities, it's that they're not taking them.
of
I was like,
course,
wow.
of course,
Oh, okay.
and then because again, we're so again it's so limited for us because especially I don't want to play on the fact that it's still um, there are very harsh consequences. You know what we stand for, what we believe, what we do has to be very specific because again straying away from that could get us in a place where people lose respect for us, don't
Mm-hmm.
value us, will attack us, whether verbally or physically, as men. So it is a problem, a larger problem of society and how society continues to function. You know, it's and it's hard. You mentioned habits. It's hard to even break out of that habit and to take a step one by one, as men, to take steps to break out of these habits, break out of the traditional these traditional definitions of what it means to be a man. It's hard it's still hard to do that, um, to make that change. Again, even for I mentioned for me, um,
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
it still becomes that in terms of my expression, um, how vulnerable I am uh, around people, how vulnerable I am around my thoughts, my feelings. And so, um, you that's why it's um, I'm at a loss for words again. It was one of those times where I lose my train of thought.
Oh
Because
no, love,
it's
bro.
so much.
Love.
It's so much. Even looking at the article. So I'll just pivot to you. You had other notes you said and other questions that you came up for me. So you already asked me. We went through one. So
Mm-hmm.
what else struck you about like this article about in particular about the Manosphere? Uh, um, that
Really,
you wanted
really
me to.
just the unfortunate, honestly, it was just the unfortunate truth of the matter that it's not that I don't feel these things that these kids felt. It's just that I just didn't get caught in the trap, you know? I relate to all those things that it was saying that Andrew Tate
Wait, wait,
is.
but we
Go
did
ahead.
get caught in the trap. You're saying you didn't get caught in the trap.
I'm not gonna say,
We
well,
did.
okay. Well, okay, yeah, no, all right. I'm not gonna. Let
We
me not act
did.
better than right. I would
Yeah.
just say I didn't do
Listen.
those acts, right? I'm not
Here's
here.
where I'm thinking about it, Rob.
Go for it
Um.
and be transparent.
No,
I love it.
I can't have it. I can't.
No
I
names,
wish.
but be transparent,
No.
bro.
I don't have to have. It's not about names. Eminem. So we brought him up recently.
Uh,
And um.
we did glorify his rhymes
Yes.
for sure, for sure.
And the fact that like he even made a song like Guilty Conscious.
Right, right, right,
Right.
right, right.
So
You know,
what I came across.
tell her you need a place to stay. She'd be safe for days if you shave her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And so recently, what I saw, which is good, and fascinating at the same time, because on social media it shows that there's a people who understand that, um, who can see gender-based violence and sexism plain and clear in our media. So what I've been seeing lately was, and that's what I was gonna push back on, is the remember Eminem and Dre dropped the Guilty Conscience song,
Hmm.
and there's a verse in which Eminem is basically uh, talking about sexual assault. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
Listen to me. While you kissing the cheek, slip
You're
this in the
smearing the
drink. It's
lipstick.
like
Yeah, yeah.
slip this in the drink. All you
Right.
gotta do is nibble on this. What?
And yeah, and then
Little
Drake is
bitch's
like, yo, she's
earlobe.
only
15
15
years
years
old.
old.
Right? And I'm like, damn. I'll do video differently from now.
And what sucks is that we didn't know his age. I'm not thinking about the age of this man. I'm
But
just thinking that
how
he's
old is
being
he?
he was like 28.
Come on now.
It's crazy.
And how
He
old
was
is
like
Dre? And how old is Dre? Because he said that line.
mm,
How old is
Drake.
Dre?
Oh,
No,
Dre.
Dre. You
Well,
know,
Dre
right?
did it with the right. I think he's a little older, but what do
Right.
you mean? He in that song,
What I'm saying, yeah.
he was trying to play the he was trying to play
Yeah.
the good conscience. Right,
Yeah,
right,
supposedly. So, but
right. Right.
behind the scenes, who was creating this?
Allegedly.
No, but behind the scenes, Rob, who's creating this? How old are they? So if we're really talking about Eminem at that time and Dr. Dre at that time, how old are they?
Right.
Like,
They're men, right? They're grown men who yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Right, right, right.
this is we could
It's a
look this
slippery
up.
slope.
We could look this up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so Dr. Dre
You
is
know
what?
that
Dr. Dre was born in 19. He's 59 right now. You know what I mean?
right, so let's just go
Eminem
back
is like
like
50.
25.
Eminem,
Ew. So that means if we go back 25 years even to get ourselves to 10, that he's 39. Was that 34? You say he's 59?
yep,
So he's
59.
20. Wow.
59.
So he was 34. Whoa. And Eminem's like 26, 28 at the time. About to be 30 maybe. Oh, or is he
Come
about the
on.
same age?
Well,
Yeah.
Eminem.
See, this
Let me
was
see.
about
Let me
interesting,
look it
right?
up.
Because then look at us, and
I'm
we're
gonna look it up.
35, and we're trying to do something different. With like again, I'm not trying to be a stick. I don't have no stick
He's
up my
51.
ass,
Eminem is 51.
right? So 8 years under. So if
Eminem is
he's
51,
34,
dolls.
then
Come
right,
on, man.
yeah. And so then take away 8 from that, then he was 26.
When did? Come on, man. At
Yeah.
26, I'm not gonna write no line like that.
At 26, I was definitely on my way to
I'm
some
not.
sort of
I'm not saying I'm better.
enlightenment.
I'm
No, I
also
wasn't. No,
saying
no, I understand. I
I'm
understand.
not writing a rhyme like that. And we were into
Right, right,
music
right.
still.
Oh, for sure.
There's no
And
way.
I've
Come
written
on.
things that I'm not
Come on.
like that are out there that I remember I didn't want to release, but the people that I was involved with, they just wanted to push out the music and we released it. And it wasn't
Come
wrong.
on.
It's just that I was a very little vulgar kid, highly emotional, just trying to make an impact and just be, just loud. Like the way life hit me, I'm just trying to hit it back through lyrics, without any really concern or awareness really. Because if I was aware, then maybe I'd be concerned, but I was, had no awareness as to like how I'm really affecting people. As people know that they follow me, I've always said that for quite some time. I've had to hear, "You play too much, Rob." So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I definitely mean like I'm definitely apologize to anyone. I pray like I'll definitely have conversations. I know that I'm a good person. I've never did anything um to take advantage of anyone. I never
Rob,
had
you
any
did
stuff
play
like
too
that.
much
But
though.
you're
I'm not
right,
gonna lie.
huh?
You did play too much though.
I play too much. I play too
Yeah,
much. Like right
yeah.
now, I remember I punched you in the chest when you had water. You had my brother literally kicked me out the house. His house, excuse me. You laugh track. Stop it. How's it going, Albie? I did not laugh when he did that, but good luck to him, bro. Albie always had that spirit that just knew, like when it was time, it was time.
That
Albie
was
was
all
the
day,
first
bro.
one.
That was all day.
Yeah, Albie was the first one who set the bar and told us like, I'm not saying the N word no more, bro. And it was
But
at
I
and
started
we were
saying it again. But
we falter, bro. That's what I love about, the journey that I'm on of understanding how to like repent and not make the same mistake. Understand that you're not gonna be perfect, but you need to be aware and make big changes. Don't just you're aware of when you of what you're doing and why you falter and how you falter, and don't just keep making an excuse for it. That's the best thing that you can do, is stop making excuses for it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just taking into context that, but really, like you said, he was 26, the other one was 34. We were 15, 12, right? 21, like making those mistakes, which is not to condone, but it's more understandable, especially with lack of guidance, where I'm telling y'all that I didn't find myself even academically to have a direction until 20, and I graduated with a bachelor's at 22. But that's still like, that sucks. So love to this, like just even setting the bar, and the president of being some sort of thing that we didn't get.
Yeah.
And that's what we're like. Yeah, to your credit, you're right. They definitely they didn't try to do that. That's why it's called the entertainment business. It sucks. It's
Yeah.
like, you here to entertain or educate. And
Well, entertain, brainwash, indoctrinate.
indoctrinate.
That's
Yeah,
the
I like, yeah.
purpose. Uh, so, man, um,
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
yeah.
Speaking of entertainment, that's a beautiful segue to, we're talking about these artists.
Hmm.
Somebody who I'm disappointed in the news. It's never not a I wasn't a fan of, but I know you were a fan of The Dream. You know,
Uh, I think a lot of us were a fan of the
I was
Dream.
not. I was not. I could say that confidently.
Come on, you ain't
No,
listening
no,
to
no,
his tracks?
nope. I'm
Nah,
telling
you
you,
ain't listen to none of his tracks.
trust me. I'll tell you if I listen
Come
to him.
on.
Nope.
No
I
way.
was, yeah, Trace,
No
and
way. You
in
wasn't
terms of
you was
knowing
in
how to
high
be a fan.
school. You was in high school.
Yeah, but I was more like
Come on.
falling victim to the people like Trey Songz, who is also a person who,
No. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He has a questionable history. Very questionable.
exactly. So I'll check
Very
myself to
questionable.
say, hey, I fell into
Nah.
the Trey Songz fan base, and then I was like, what?
Come
Oh,
on.
I do gotta leave.
I
I gotta
mean,
leave that fan base, cause you an abuser now.
come on. Yeah, come on.
The American dream. Like I wasn't ready for these. T-Pain, I was on T-Pain. I know. I would be honest with you. If I knew the words, then I'd be like, I'm a fan. Like, see this,
T-Pain.
this. Yeah.
Young Joe.
See, I know these words.
Hey, she's
What's up,
bad.
T-Pain? Baby girl.
Oh, wait.
Come on, ALBY.
No,
Hey,
T
shout out to
Pain. T Pain.
T-Pain.
He's doing well for himself.
Come on
He's
now.
on streaming. No controversy on him so far that I know of, man. No, shout out to him. It's crazy. I was looking it up. That album came out December 6th of 2005, bro. Do you know that means we were sophomores in high school?
Alberti, I'm telling you,
No,
Alberti.
no,
I'm
no. Sorry,
telling
sorry,
you.
sorry. Juniors.
I'm telling
We were
you.
juniors in
That's
high
what I
school.
was on.
That's crazy.
And I don't know, the dream was, I'm gonna
Oh
be
my
honest with you, the
god.
dream was just a little too romantic for me. Like
Really?
it was
But he wrote some really good songs though. That's what
no,
sucks
they were
about him.
bouncy.
Yeah,
They were bouncy.
more than bouncy. They were
Not
really
they
good.
weren't fire. They weren't fire, but like
They were
it
pretty
just wasn't
fire,
something that
bro.
resonated to my soul that I had to
I'm,
learn the lyrics.
I'm just saying, he wrote some pretty good songs.
Hmm. And I will give him credit that he wrote songs for other people, like the greatest songwriter that I see. I don't like him as an artist, but I think I could give him respect as a songwriter. Yeah, this is fire. Now,
Um,
hold on. Disclaimer, guys. We started this conversation talking about the dream because we do not support his actions. Now, this is the big thing that it's not only
right,
us, right? We're
right.
all struggling and all very, very much
I got it up,
conflicted.
Rob. You see it? You see it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. You got? Oh, I thought you got the same article I put up. I put up the
Nah.
one from the Guardian.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what is that from?
The
What is that
CNN,
from?
CNN.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Right. So the Dream singer and producer for Beyonce and Rihanna accused of rape. I'm gonna let me go to yours on CNN because I got mine on the Guardian. Um, but yeah, man, I just want to let it be known first and foremost, as we did bounce to the music, that I do know I'm not. I don't want to be afraid out here, man. I want to be very transparent. It's a struggle, bro. It's conflicting. I know we all conflicting of like artists like Chris Brown, R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Dream. And I find it quite interesting as I just name artists that we're struggling with to like love their music and their creativity. How it's just men. Like I find that quite interesting. Where it's not that I wanted to be like, oh, can I hear about like some women who have done some tough things? I'm kind of expecting it. I'm kind of expecting that like we're gonna hear some powerful women new and didn't say anything either. You know, it's just people. We're all people experiencing things and either speaking transparently or
Right.
silently, succumbing to fear and silence, just silencing ourselves, which is what the enemy wants to do with y'all, man. I have no shame in saying that I do struggle with, man, all that I know with R. Kelly. It's like, man, like step, step, side to side, round it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to slide into love, but man, I want to slide into that track. I haven't played that track in so long because, man, it's
Yeah, man. He got the boo, man. Sorry.
yeah, he does, he does. You know, and one of the reasons why I just allow myself to, I'm not allow myself. I just accept what it is because, again, when I personally hold myself to the fruits of the spirit, self control is the fruit of the spirit. You know, as my followers know, I'm practicing celibacy, and that's not it's not for anyone besides myself of knowing that I've had sex, I've had enough. You know, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying. It's not something, you know what I mean. Like I want to balance that out and have relations with women that are beyond the physical. You know, just to try it out, try do something different. I've never done that. You know, so why not? You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest question. Why not? Um, but man, it's just so yeah, it's something that like even though I like his music and I don't play it. You know, I don't play it. Every time I hear it though, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that I thought that the shit was like the music is dope. You know, um,
Right. Well, that's a tricky thing, man,
that's
about
very tricky, guys,
yeah.
and we're artists.
Well,
You know,
with music, that's why I think it's important to also acknowledge that it's a complicated relationship we have to it, because at the same time, when we play certain chords, when we play certain sounds, in a certain way, it will move us. Like music has been proven to have um hypnotizing qualities. So
mm,
it
mm.
is, something that, if it hypnotizes people, it could be a tool that is used for evil.
Yeah, music is
Um,
definitely meant to invoke
so,
emotion. Yeah,
so even with his music with R. Kelly, like right then, for me, it's tainted. Even with Eminem, it become tainted. Um, I was a fan, and I could easily say I was, because I can't listen to Guilty Conscience and be like, I agree with it. I don't understand why he would write raps like that. I've already
right.
been, thankfully,
And
you
keeping it in
know,
context to the age, like you said,
right.
where are
Thankfully,
they really?
thankfully, I made it past that age. And even when I was that age, I know I would not be okay or co-sign such raps. Or even to
Right,
go back and
right,
forth
right.
with you. Like, you and I have been in the studio together. We made
Mm-hmm.
music together.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine pressing play and then hearing you rap like that and being like, "Yo, I imagine that you could be my good conscience." And we were talking about raping a fucking 15-year-old,
Right, right.
and then I got to be the good guy that's talking you out of raping a 15-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that shit sounds crazy to me.
yeah, I
Um,
know. It is crazy.
so I'm not going to go back on that.
Right.
Um, and then I understand how there might be people who are waking up to that, who you can open your eyes and kind of see the lyrics and analyze them differently. That now I also understand that there will be people who are Eminem fans who are nostalgic about his music, because we grew up with it when we were 14, 15, 16 years old, when we didn't have this analysis. we didn't have this growth. Or again, some of us did not grow. But if you have grown,
Right.
you know, you've grown
Major
out of
key.
that. You
Major
can
key.
look back and be like, wait a minute, that was some bullshit, you know, because
Right.
I did play it back. I played back the song, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not just following social media because the first way I encountered um, the post was about like, you know, I guess apparently there's like folks defending Eminem's new single, which we already talked about and talked about how he needed, we feel as Eminem fans and fans of his when we were younger, he should have grown by now, being a 51-year-old man, and so that's how I came across from this dialogue where there are people who are still calling him out for even his past shit. And they're like, yo, the stuff you did in the past is still uncalled for. And yes, it wouldn't fly in 2024 because your lyrics are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And thankfully we got to that place. But it's still interesting to see how there's folks who will still fight against it and who will still try to defend a song like Guilty Conscience when it's like, nah, dogs, that song is not good, bro. There's no way. Again, you and I as men, you know, we're not in the studio and you rapping about raping a 15-year-old girl and you're like, yo, you know what would be a cool concept if, like, in a scenario, I'm thinking about raping a 15-year-old girl and you'll be that guy who'll tell me that I'm crazy for trying to slip Xanax into a drink. And I'll rap about slipping the shit and I'll rap about, like, how I'm going to do it and you're going to be the one that's going to tell me how not to do it. Like, what? I'll be like, Rob, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? We're not doing
Now,
that. We're not doing
now,
that. We're scrapping that
right.
project.
No,
You
for
know what
sure.
I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
what are we doing? You know? So no, that song will not fly in 2024. But you know that song shouldn't have flown whenever it came out. Realistically,
But it did. And so then I
of
asked
course.
myself about balance, right? That's
No,
why I love that God gave me the word balance, and it's been resonating with me very much, because then I think to myself, like, if it's not that I'm meant to ever take away, I'm meant to add, right? Like, energy doesn't, you can never die. Energy doesn't die, right? So I'm meant to add, right? That's why I love that our journey was just to, it was just meant to add this platform, this movement, the manuscript. Remember in the last episode, I was saying that, yo, we used to joke on each other to try to make you cry, blah, blah, blah. That was the energy. Just,
yeah.
it was just trying to just test you.
I mean, that doesn't go away. I think
Not at all.
working at at schools and having experience working in at least New York City charter schools, you can still see that there's a culture of doing this amongst like middle schoolers and even in high school. The way boys specifically test each other. I was working with two young men recently. One is a junior and one is a senior, and they're cool with each other, but they sit in my office. But the way they talk to each other, I don't know what happened, but eventually their conversation started going to like, yeah, I'm talking to you, pussy. Nah, what the fuck, bro? What's going on? I'll slap the shit out of you. But they like laughing at each other, cause I turn around to like assess like what's going on. They're really gonna fight in my office. My office is not that big, but they're like smiling. It's like a joke, you know. And but the way they are talking to each other is like,
I will take it there.
I guess perceive. Yeah. I guess, you know, fighting words. I guess, you know, for
Yeah, I
us,
don't like that. Yeah.
is a lot of like, what's up? Like, you're fucking like, what's up? I'll slap the shit out of you. What's going on? But they laughing at you like, yo, what you saying, bro? I'll slap you right now. Like, what's going on? I'll slap the shit out of you right now, bro. You being stupid right now. And I'm like, man, yo, fellas, like, and I cut them off at some point and talked to them about it. Like, and they're like, nah, this is yeah, you right though. They hit me with you right though, but that's just how we talk to each other. You feel me? Ain't no beef with us. Ain't no
Oh
beef with us.
man.
I'm like, ah, man.
Not yet.
However, I do hope that was a break though, because where else are they hearing this? You know, if they
Right.
are talking to each other so loosely in a way that is challenging, you know, but it's also not productive. They're talking about each other, calling each other names, saying they'll hit each other, you know, and that's like, even as a joke, like, we don't joke around. Like, I don't think it's I don't know that if we were to develop healthy relationships with each other, there's a place for us to joke around about being violent to each other. You know, like, I'll slap you and that's a joke. Like, that's me being violent to you. But if
Right,
I'm trying
right.
to build a healthy relationship with you, I don't see how that kind of joke can even exist. Like, what's the point of making a joke about being violent with me? Because violence has no place in a healthy relationship. You
Right,
know,
right. Love to that. No,
sorry,
I got a question for you.
being funny with each other, being humorous could be part of healthy relationships. So yeah, if we crack on each other's like whatever, sneakers or whatever, that could be humorous. Okay, we can still build a healthy relationship off of that. But violence, though, I don't know that it has a place in a healthy relationship. So I don't also I've definitely grown from seeing like violent jokes as a joke when it comes to trying to like build with each other. Like we could joke and you could make fun of like, yo, you got something in your beard or whatever the case may be. But the moment you're like, yo, what's up, pussy? I'll slap the shit out of you. You talking shit? Like, it's like, whoa, now you threatening me and now you calling me names. Like, what's going on with that? Like, I don't understand those jokes.
I want to ask you a question about that because I had to ask, in trying to be a better man and understanding things that I probably didn't know, um, finding definitions, right, and just trying to make sense of all these blurred lines. Would you say that that is and it's a stretch, just
Yeah.
stretch. It might be a stretch.
Yeah.
Would you say that that could be kind of it can create a fog for young men to understand exactly what gaslighting is? Because by definition, gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse or manipulation, in which they're attempting to like sow self-doubt, and confusion, right?
Well, now you're hitting me with something different right there, Rob. I ain't gonna hold you. That's
No, no,
we
I
might
know what
need
you're
we might need another hour for that one.
No, 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 no. I don't want to get into it. No, okay, fine. So we're gonna pin that. We're gonna this is what God does, bro. Love.
Nah,
We got the
We might
next
need
episode.
another.
Bow.
We
That's it.
might need another
That's
hour
later.
for that one.
But would you? But a quick yes or
And I need
no.
to eat.
Could it be that if we allow ourselves as young men to keep playing around with like, yo, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, bro. Stop playing. And it's like I'm just joking, but you don't know if I'm really joking, and so now you got to tap into your self-worth and know like, yeah, I mean, like it gets confusing as we build this relationship with each other and we care about each other, but we're caring about each other in a violent way where like
Yeah.
there is no love there. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I feel like gaslighting isn't the word, but what I'm trying to say is I feel like if I'm a young man and I'm playing around with that kind of energy, I will have a hard time, assuming it continues and I get worse. I'm gonna have a hard time understanding if I'm gaslighting women like that, what that is, because I technically was in a sense doing that to men where I'm like making them believe that I will put my hands on them even though I won't. But I'm joking. But if they're not playing around and they get serious, I will put hands on them. So were you ever joking?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm understanding a little bit more of yeah. So I do think that if we start there, for sure, it could help us move away from trying to like engage in gaslighting behaviors, because that could be a way in which we gaslight each other as men,
it's
right?
interesting, right?
So like, trolling each other, playing around with each other about being violent,
It's
and
weird.
then turning around and being like, oh no, but I didn't mean to be violent. What's up? I was just joking. Now when the other person gets upset, and I do think if we can, I mean, yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I think
A
if
little
we
bit like a
if
trap door,
I
right?
think if that's something that we could check amongst each other and not do amongst each other, then it would help along the way to at least perhaps minimize the amount of times we do it with other people, so you know um because at the same time, like men don't might not gaslight other men, but they will gaslight women or
Right,
gay
but see, that's what I'm
men
saying, right?
or gay women,
Right.
because now you identify as other. So I just respect men. I don't respect anybody else. I'm gonna gaslight everybody else, but not men. Um, so it, yeah, it's a piece of
Could be right.
it's a piece of the puzzle. It's a piece of the
Mm-hmm.
puzzle. I do think addressing gaslighting as a tactic, as a behavior, as a tool, to manipulate and also gain some sort of power over someone should be acknowledged, should be talked about. Also in the ways that we gaslight each other, even as normal, good human beings. So, for myself, I think when I first learned of the concept, there was ways that I had to explore how I gaslit folks around me, especially my intimate partners, because usually gaslighting is a form of behavior we see
Romantically, right?
manifesting in romantic relationships. It's definitely, but it doesn't just exist in romantic relationships. I think you can gaslight anyone around you.
Right.
Um, oh, um,
So we'll tap into that. Love, love. I
yeah,
appreciate you for just dipping your toes in there real quick.
yeah.
Because I was just like, wait a minute. That's hmm, hmm.
Mm.
That was just I just saw something there where it's not about it really correlates in a sense, but it's almost like a subject. How you say sub? How you call it sub? What a subsection? You know what I'm saying? Like where it's like this could, this kind of behavior could lead to you never seeing this or accepting that this may be true, that you do this because it was a widely accepted in that sense. And some of the trick is when we get to romanticism. Oh, my fault. Your thing went low, or you load yourself on purpose. I love, love, love. Amen, amen.
There you go. You're holding it down, Rob.
Yeah, I gotta have out of it down. Love, love. So, love, guys. While Barry's doing his thing, real quick, I wanted to tap in because we didn't talk about,
No, no, I'm
really
back. I'm back.
quickly,
I'm back. I'm back.
the article. Oh, love, love, because I didn't want to. I wanted to be with respect to this whole dream thing. I want to put this shit to bed.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like we
Which
didn't really
one?
tap in. Well, the dream on the CNN where you had like so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyone watching didn't know that Dream was accused of raping women in a new lawsuit, right? A woman in a new lawsuit, right? I'm gonna read it
Yeah.
to you guys really quickly. Record producer and songwriter The Dream, his name that's ridiculous. I did not
The
know his name was.
dream. El sueño.
Bro, you saw his real name? Whoa, they put that in abbreviation. That thing looks like
Darius.
whoa. That looked like a
Darius just
typo.
stealed. No, but that's the
Yo,
last name. I'm not gonna wild
Diamante
out.
is accused of sex trafficking, rape, and sexual battery in a lawsuit that was filed on Tuesday. According to the complaint obtained by CNN, Justel de Diamant, I'm not name shaming. I'm just saying it's hard to say. When I read the Bible, I'll be passing up on those names. I ain't gonna hold you. I would say they used his age and influence in the music industry to manipulate the plaintiff, Shanaz Mangro, from the Netherlands. The lawsuit alleges that he lured Mangro into an abusive, violent, and manipulative relationship filled with physical assaults, violence, sexual encounters, and horrific psychological manipulation. Now, not to get too much into, I'm not gonna read you the whole article. Um, I just find it to be quite interesting that I just want to like we'll tap into this next time. I just want to say that I pray that we're not gonna be watching yet another man deny allegations and then have to apologize for the truth coming out. You feel me? Like that is just that's just not cool, y'all. That's just not cool. And I know, I'm preaching to the choir. Those who are watching, I would imagine that you're not just watching this and you're just falling into that same, that kind of pattern. But that just sucks, especially when, you know, the statement that he made responding to this was that going along those lines. The Dream says these claims are untrue and defamatory. I oppose all forms of harassment and have always strived to help people realize their career goals. As someone committed to making a positive impact on my fellow artists and the world at large, I am deeply offended and saddened by these accusations. Guys, he said that, okay? Now, let's not forget, because we are prisoners of the moment and we forget all too quickly. Now, it sounds very similar to all these other things that we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
Let's keep communicating with each other and stop forgetting and not
Right.
holding on to the past, but holding people accountable for their past. Especially if it's literally presently, then now I'm holding you accountable. I'm not gonna watch you cower away from your past. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're gonna rise up against this. This is gonna be hard, and that's it. That's just it. And you're not gonna do it again, right? But to deny, I just pray that you know that the dream is telling the truth. That is not actually a nightmare that we're a part of. Because this sucks, man. That sucks, Albie. We're men out here, bro. We're gonna make mistakes, and I don't want to have to like be afraid of making a mistake. And then you know what I'm saying. People are just used to, you know what I'm saying, not believing you, or they want to, you know what I'm saying, lock the like, you know what I'm saying, demonize you because they think it may be work. You know what I mean? Like, sheesh, sheesh.
I think yeah, that was I didn't even know when you bringing this up so you know did was like a surprising thing, and then again it's like weird again, it's like a surprising thing but not so surprising when you find out that folks in the industry are really terrible human beings who've engaged in acts that harms
Harm
Tu
others
sabes, yeah, a large
willingly.
population, a large and a lot of people, and so you know, I was reading through a little bit more of the article that you shared, and it's definitely terrible to think about this person. I also the person who is who filed the complaint against the Dream, whose name is there,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Oh,
Mangrove,
her. Yeah,
yeah,
Shanaz. Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, man, like I think what I've learned is that you kind of don't really fail by the you, if if you likely listen to a woman's story, you're not gonna be wrong, right? If you statistically speaking, the amount of people that's been accused of rape and been found to be innocent is very small. So again, so the
Mm.
amount of men who've been accused of rape and they've been found to be innocent or is very small compared to the amount of men who've been accused of being guilty and actually have been guilty. You know,
Right.
so there's only been a small percentage of men who've been accused and actually been innocent. However, you talk to other men and they will tell you that more men have been accused of rape and have been found innocent than the men that have been accused of rape and found guilty. So it's like it's
Mm.
kind of it becomes a difficult world when you find out statistically, and if you choose to pay attention, because I think men have come across this statistic and know the true numbers when it comes to sexual assault, and they choose to ignore it. But
Yeah.
again, it sways the other way in that it is likely that a man is when they are accused of rape, they've actually engaged in some act of it. More likely than it is that when a woman comes out and accuses a man of rape, it is not true. So when it comes to the Dream, my inclination is to trust a woman first. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like right.
Oh,
And you could
yeah.
call me biased, you could call me whatever, but I'm gonna go with facts. You know, I'm gonna go
Right,
with what
right, right.
statistics say. And again, statistically speaking, when a woman and you could look this up, I could link the articles, whoever needs it. Um, yeah. So hearing this, but it is also sad, you know, because then to me it becomes like, damn, you know, a disappointment in the fact that folks who write music that is so touching, resonates, music that's about love. You know, the Dream it's themselves from I know them for writing R&B music, and love songs, and then to know that in real life they were somebody who were engaging in behaviors that are opposite of love is like just really extremely disappointing. I have no issues of like removing this person. Again, I've already been on a long journey of like trying to move away from music, from artists that are just proven to be horrible people.
Right.
Um, and I'm okay. I still have problematic things that I've listened to as far as like yeah, but like
No, I get yeah.
I
I
draw the
hear.
line as someone who's been engaging as like who I might consider a psychopath, pretty much. You know, like I
Mm.
don't see the point in
Right, like a danger to society and its growth. Right.
yeah
You know what I
yeah
mean?
yeah.
Like yeah.
And unfortunately, I can say there's a lot of brothers who will fall in that category. You know, so it is tough because there are a lot of brothers who probably fit a psychological profile that's like, I don't know, you're a little bit of a danger to society as a whole.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I don't believe every
And I
brother
pray they find help.
is a throwaway though. So
Yeah.
of course you know, but the Dream, like I said, man, unfortunate. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you put
And it's
me
still
on. I had no
unfolding.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but I hope the person finds justice, man. in the form that they find fit.
Whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, like I respect your position. Everybody's entitled to their position. Me, I've been exercising the fact that if I wasn't there, I don't know. And that's kind of a blessing to maintain my own respect to my own morals of like balance, right? I'm not there, so I'm not gonna tip the scale anywhere. I'm just gonna wait and watch, which is a very difficult thing, and I don't have to take a position. I know my position. I know that if it was true, I would never, I'm not that person. I'm not a person who condones sex trafficking. I could never. I'm not a person who is abusive, you know what I'm saying? Like, and violent in that way or manipulative. I don't find it, I know who I am, you know what I mean? And that's not where I'm at. And I have no fear in that. So it's like, it's not my story. When it was happening before me and it's happening after me. And now I'm just aware of it, and all I could do is share and communicate that. And then pray for both parties, man. Because if he was the abuser, you seek some help. And I pray that people don't, like, what I'm saying? Like, those who can help you are around and willing, And if you weren't and she's accusing you of false things, I pray that you can forgive her for doing that. I pray that you can get past that. I pray that she can, what I'm saying, heal to where maybe that's normal for her to accuse men of, doing things that perhaps maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it looked that way, but you had all control over where you put yourself. You know what I mean? Maybe it was like, maybe he was like what the men call rizzing, right? I was just trying to like jazz you up and you were falling for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I
I
wasn't
don't
there.
know.
Right. So we
Based
will
on
see
this
the truth.
article, it don't sound like he was risen. It sound like he was forcing. But
Right. Again. Again.
look,
We
that's
will
according
see.
to one person's word against the other.
Right.
Again,
We will see because you cannot hide from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Especially with lies.
well, it's always tough,
So,
man. That's the thing, Rob. Right? Um, Victor. History is written by victors. People who
mm,
win. But if the bad guy wins, then they get to write history and write themselves as the good guy, and we would
but
never
then,
know
yeah,
because
yeah.
they won when
The
they
way that
wrote
I give
history.
myself, I hear what you're saying, but that used to bring fear into me until I had to ask him. I had to realize that, if that be the case, and my brothers and sisters who have all control over this world and where it goes, if that's what they're gonna allow to be the future for us, what do I know about that? That's not a victory. You know what I mean? So you're just gonna live in a world where you confuse victory for failure. And that's what you want to do, then fine. You want to create an imbalanced world, then fine. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna live to be 400 years to watch it. You know what I mean? I'm 35 and I may live another 30 if I'm blessed, and that's just the end of that. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
well,
I'm not gonna be here to watch the demise of my brothers and sisters in the human race.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Fool themselves. I'm not gonna be a fool. That's just what I know. I'm gonna keep it
yeah,
real. And that's why I leave myself with super transparency, bro. Where it's like, yo, let's get on this right now and let's not have it scripted. Let's just go with what we got. And this is what we do. And look at us. Starting at 9 o'clock and it's almost 11 o'clock. And we didn't do that. You know what I mean? God did
yeah.
that. And we
I,
keep it real, bro.
well, no, we did do that too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because
what
we
you
didn't
mean? What you
have to.
mean?
I'm saying because God gave us free will, no,
He
right?
said, yeah.
So
Yeah, but I'm saying you do
we
good
could have
with your
had
free will.
the
Amen.
will to go to sleep and
All
say we
right.
don't want to talk, but
Love. But hey,
that's
man,
what
when he
that's what
got, he
gets
got, who
challenging,
gives you
right?
strength? Who gives you strength?
Well, I think is inner, man. I do think it's inner. I do think it's within us because we could be again. You could lead a horse to water and they won't drink it, right? So I think God,
They're not thirsty.
whatever you're speaking to, could give you some sort of strength and present it to you, and you still wouldn't take it.
Right.
Um,
No, love. I
so I
love that
do put
idea
the
of like,
onus of of us as human beings to still act,
yeah,
because we still have a mission here. We still think all of us have a purpose, and again, it all brings us back to humanity and unity. Um, I do. That's why even with
that's a
the
beautiful,
dream, I have a hard time. Again, mathematically and it's like when you put the equation together, right? The dream, right? He is likely a person and a man of access, of money, of power,
oh yeah, yeah,
who
yes, yes,
you
yes,
raise a finger and you get what you want.
for sure.
You have bro. I've been to a resort. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm just not a cheap. I don't consider myself a cheap person when it comes to like even tipping. You know, my most recent experience when I went to a resort in DR, like I was just making sure I tip everybody, but tipping
Nice, man.
everybody and then having a certain like demeanor to myself, everyone thought I was some sort of fucking boss. And I could already see the treatment I was getting. Like, as soon as I walked to the damn buffet place, it was like the cook who was there yesterday, who I tipped him nice, remembered me and was already like, yo, what you want? I could have basically skipped the line. And so I was already getting favors. So imagine the dream who he could probably tip more than me. And so what kind of treatment,
Hey, probably.
you know?
I love. Hey, my brother got some money.
No, 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 not only
He
that,
got
but nah, cause you know
money.
why I said probably, cause motherfuckers be cheap, man. They be
No,
having
no,
money in their
love,
account
love,
and
love.
they
You're
still don't
right.
tip. So
Yeah, for sure.
you know he has
Shout out to my
it's
father.
but it's definitely
Oh,
it's definitely no doubt that he has more money than me, likely to be able to tip more than I can tip. And so if I already did that, I had that experience as a nobody, where I went to a spot and with the little bit of dollars I had, I was able to have folks treat me differently. You know, I can only imagine the dream, you know, again, using his resources and specifically money to then, you know, persuade people. And then he himself tricks himself into thinking, oh, because of my financial standing and because of the money that I have, people will just give me things. And
oh
so
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I would, you know, it's in alignment with this behavior of like, then he's accused of forcing women and young woman to have sex with him. Like, I, it's not far fetched. Again,
No,
he's
no, no, not
probably
at
used
all.
to people giving him things. So
Right.
because of course
And
I'm
just
him,
accepting their submission.
the
And this is what
submission,
a very,
because
very tough for men.
because yo, I gave you
Yeah.
money or I put you on to this opportunity. Which again, in this article, the person is saying that the person
They
filing
wanted
the
the
lawsuit
opportunity.
is saying that they wanted the opportunity. He was offering that to the victim, saying like, yo, I'm gonna put you on this, and the third. And you're like, yo, you're the fucking dream. So of course I'm gonna
Right.
go there. And then he's like, yo, what? So you gonna do for me? Because again, I'm already used to like I tip people. I give you extra 20. I give you extra 30. You gonna already be on my ass. Like, yo, so what you want, boss? What you want, boss? So now, if I tell you I'm gonna put you on to Beyonce, I expect you to be like, so what you want, boss? What you want, boss? And you're gonna give me what I want, even if that's sexually. Like, it's not far fetched. You know what I'm saying?
No, no,
To
no. I hear you.
me, so
I hear you.
it's like with anybody in power. To me, at this point in age, like I see how I find it fascinating. How then again, folks have a hard time believing that a Diddy could exist, or even that someone like you mentioned, Trey Songz, like Trey Songz can exist and be such a horrible
Yeah.
person. But it's like, dog, it makes a lot of sense. Think about what money can give you. Think about what
And what we
capitalism said.
value.
Yeah,
What we
yeah, and what we
value. We're
value.
just yeah.
All of us, even our good meaning people, sometimes we fall for that trap of like, because you have $1 billion in your account, I'm gonna listen to you differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Or
automatically off
because you
the.
look a certain way. You know what I mean?
You feel me, Rob?
No, I
So
definitely feel you, bro. Look at us, bro. We're not. I'm not. Let's not. I'm not too our own home, but we're attractive men. We're attractive men with a good heart, and we're intellectual, and we got a route that we're going, and that is something to always humble yourself and know, like, people are looking for that, and then they will submit to that, but you have to know what is for you, and not just where they're falling weak, and know what to accept. That's something that I've been struggling, like not struggling, but discerning and trying to really discipline myself to know, like, man, what do I really want? Now, I'm not gonna take whatever's been given to me, like, because people don't really know what they want out here either. You know what I
right,
mean? And they've been deprived of many things, so they're gonna look at you and they're gonna hold you to a high standard and just idolize you. But what do I know about idolatry? It is not good. It is not what we're meant for. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Love, bro. You definitely got a good little point on that. You definitely hit
yeah,
it on the head where, you know,
yeah, man. It's
man.
just, and it's stuff that like I'm still battling, still learning. There's still things I'm
Right.
finding out about art that I consumed when I was a child that was not really good for me. That I am making or coming to terms with.
Right.
Um, And then think about how expansive my library is, you know, because not only did I grow up with an American sort of influence
Ooh,
of media, but then I'm also influenced by
Spanish.
media in the Caribbean by the way of Dominican Republic. So
Right.
tapping into that media and then also being influenced by the messaging that's coming out of there, and the music and again the media.
Right. 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 Right.
And so, you know, it's still things that I'm discovering to this day that I'm challenging and figuring out what's good for me or not, because I just kind of chalk it up to being to that kind of media and stuff that I consume that's poison, and asking myself like, do I want to continue consuming poison, you know?
Right. Right. Right.
um Obviously there's a lot of things that's poison. You know, you know what I'm saying? There's some other stuff that's a little
Did
bit
you
of
just
poison.
show that on
There's
purpose?
a little there's some stuff that's a lot of things that's poison,
You
you know.
funny guy.
There's
You
a little
funny
thing
guy.
that's some stuff that is probably worse for
And
us,
look, and that's
and
what I'm trying to
specifically
say.
there's some things that are worse for our brain.
Right.
And because the stuff that we are consuming by the way of media, we again there's plenty of facts and research on this that proves that it influences our behavior. It influences how we look at each other, as human beings. So
Look,
um,
I'll be real quick
yeah.
though. You got balance? Balance? You got it?
Uh,
You look,
I got a
talk
water
to
bottle. I got a
me.
water
Talk to
bottle. You
me.
know,
You
I got
see
a
what I'm
water bottle. You know what I'm
saying?
saying? I got a water bottle.
Balance. You gotta
There's a water
balance it
bottle.
out, y'all. Listen, y'all drinking, y'all balance it out, right? Balance it out.
No, yeah. I'm definitely gonna be balanced, but what I do need to balance with is some damn food, because
Amen.
that is one thing
Woo, heavy
that I have
transition.
not added to the equation there. So I might
Love to
want
you,
to
my
add
brother.
food
Love.
since it's so late.
Yes, get that
Uh,
nourishment.
but this has
Yeah, I
been great,
appreciate y'all,
man.
man.
Again, man. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to you, Rob. You know what I
Shout out to
mean?
you.
Thank you, Mr.
You know.
Hegan.
You know.
Love to y'all, man. Y'all been rocking with the Manuscript, the 80th Productions. I appreciate y'all so much on this Friday. I pray that y'all weekend as well. And we're gonna catch you in a few days on Monday
Oh,
and
that's
start up
right.
that week. Yeah.
You already know.
That's
No, we're
right. We're
gonna
gonna
be
start
on it.
up
We're
that
gonna be
week.
on it.
Amen. Love to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Love.